but I wanted to bring my buddy on. As I mentioned, we had special guests to come on with us, and Adam and I go way back in the beginning. It was, a lot of you know that Andy Albright and I met each other in the Amway business, and there are people that he brought into our business that have become like dear friends and business partners with the Alliance. We help grow the Alliance, and so one of those people is Adam Catz, and one of my best friends in the world. We have a lot of great Amway stories back in the day, and Adam, he was really instrumental he was one of those kind of good guys, man. He was a school teacher, his wife's school teacher, Beth Catz, just the most wonderful people in the world, and they're Andy and Jane's best friends. And, again, further, showing that Andy and Jane, they showed the business to their best friends. So I felt, honored to be kind of in that group, the first group that Andy called to get into the business. Although my agent number is 000347. I think yours is what? You're in the hundreds, right?
199.
Okay, so you subtract 347 from 199. That's kind of where I land in the importance scale. But listen, Adam was in the first 100, couple hundred, but we built this business together. We've seen this business just explode. I remember the days he and I would be like Adam, Patrick, myself, we'd be calling each other, hey man, what's your deposit going to look like Monday with F&G? 17,000, dude, that rock. We were just like, it was just insanity. And what's great about Adam is that he's remained humble, most humble guy you want to talk to. And he's probably one of the best speakers on stage. I mean, there are some key talks that Adam did just resonate with me today. And when I contemplate some of those, man, I mean, just classics that ought to be recorded for everyone to listen to. Just one of the best speakers, one of my best friends. And here's the thing, Adam's been able to really bring on a great team. And when you look at the Catz team, obviously Emily Catz is one of the top producers and stuff. And, when you look at sort of the fruit on the tree, Adam's fruit on the tree is just tremendous. His people love he and Beth so much. I mean, that's one thing that you really see as a mark of a leader, someone of, their people love them, and their people just they would go through brick walls for Adam and Beth. And it's just such an honor to be in a business as long as we've been in. We had less gray hairs. Mine turned blonde, but he's just been a dear friend, and we always look forward to the trips together. We have so much fun. Actually, that's probably the time we spend the most time together is on the trips, right, Adam?
Right.
I know this is a long preamble, but Adam's just one of my best buddies, and I always, man, to have an opportunity to introduce him to you all. Adam is going to talk about the importance of getting your mind right and investing in yourself. And I couldn't really think of anyone who is the most qualified to talk about investing in yourself by going to events, etc., as Adam Catz. And as you know, he's one of my favorite buddies on TWCs. Like, I love it when Adam and I are partnered together. We just it's just a great tag team. I'm Robin to his Batman. So anyway, Adam, my team is your team, brother. Talk to them like they're your people and just lay it on them, man. Lay it on them.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. And guys, you want to build a business just so you can have somebody like an Alex Abuyuan introduce you like that. I had a call earlier today, and we were talking about how to grow your self-image. And the best way to grow your self-image is when your actions match your words. And there's nobody better than Alex and Jenny Abuyuan in terms of leading from the front and not talking the talk, but walking the walk. And when you're looking for that predictability, you're looking for that dependability. And you guys have such unbelievable leadership right here with Alex and Jenny. And my goodness, what you guys have done over the last year has just been nothing short of incredible. And Patrick's on here. He's my buddy too. We go way back, and we got stories. We have so many memories and so many stories of what we've done together. And that's what this business is all about. It's about doing life together. We look at it, and I know Patrick and I know Alex have the same philosophy, and I know the Leventoviches have the same philosophy, and Fitz and Davies and Albright and the Riddle. And we all have this philosophy that we're not looking for business partners. We're looking for people to do life together. We're looking for opportunities to celebrate together as well as to cry together. When Jenny was sick, we all suffered. I'm not pretending that we were suffering like Alex and Jenny were suffering, but they knew everybody loved them and prayed for them and supported them. And I know they could feel those prayers, and they could feel that love, and they could feel that strength that a family gives, not a business team, but a family. And that's what this opportunity really is. Now, don't get me wrong. If you guys, I'm sure there are people on the call and they're just like, hey, listen, it's enough lovey-dovey stuff. Tell me about the money. The money's there. I mean, what do you want to know about the money? It's math. It's not a complicated process. You go out, you help families. families, you recruit some people, you make some override, you make millions and millions of dollars over the years. But it doesn't happen today. It happens over time. It happens over the seed time and harvest. And everybody wants to skip seed time. Everybody wants to skip the growing season. They want to go straight from planting the seed to reaping the harvest, and they forget that there's a growing season in between. And understand this. One of the things that people are always like is this, man, I just wish if you've been hiring, if you've been out there trying to recruit and trying to build your business team, here's what happens. I just wish I could find an Alex Abuyuan to get on my team. And here's the reality of that situation. You probably hired one, but you didn't know how to handle them and they didn't stay. You weren't the person you needed to be able to lead a person of that caliber and that character. So it becomes, how do I grow into that person that I need to be so that I don't chase off the person that I'm trying to attract? And ultimately, here's what it comes down to. This is something Andy Albright has taught us this whole time, is this. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And that's an ouch, ouch, ouch for some of us. It's painful when I hear him say that, because then I look around and I see what I attract, and I got some really good-hearted people, but I need some lions. I need some killers. I need some assassins. And it's just like, how do I develop myself to become the person I need to be? And don't get me wrong, we've done well in this business. We've been doing this full-time since 2002, since Andy started the Alliance. We've been there since day one. You know, like Alex said, I go back 32 years with Andy and Jane Albright. I actually taught school with Jane. We taught middle school together, Lillington Middle School, and then it consolidated into Harnett Central Middle School. And I was there the day that she retired from Harnett Central Middle School, and we were walking the journey of life with Andy and Jane. We knew them before Haley and Spencer. We knew them obviously now they have grandkids. We were both young married couples, and then we had kids, and we watched our kids grow up together. It's the same thing with Alex and Ginny. I think they had, what do you have, 2 kids when we started, and now you have 5?
Yeah, 3, and then we added 2.
You had 3, and 2 more came along. And I mean, who the heck can do the math with Connors? But just seeing the family grow and the kids grow up. I remember walking through Burlington one day at corporate office, and Alex's daughter was doing an internship in Burlington. And that was so cool just to know that the family, the link. Here's how you can tell the quality of the tree. You can tell the roots of the tree by the fruit that it gives off. And the fact that Alex wanted his daughter to be in the Alliance environment, sent her out there for a summer to work in the Alliance. What does that say about, I mean, you got to be careful who you let your kids hang around, right? We're all careful who we let our kids hang around. 2 of my daughters are active agents in the Alliance. Everybody knows Emily, my older daughter, Sarah, you know, she's married and this is more of a part-time thing for her, but she doesn't miss a conference. Here's the crazy thing. She wasn't even, up until she just made a decision in January, she was going to start getting back into the field. She's been out of the field for 4+ years. She got married. Now she's had a baby. Her husband's military, Air Force. They moved to Oklahoma, and now they moved back to Macon, Georgia. And so she had a lot of life going on, just keeping all of that straight. But she never missed a convention. And how many people do we have in our organization that say, I'm going to do it? I'm going board member. I'm going EVP. I'm going agency manager. And then they negotiate the terms of what it takes to get there. Like, look, if you've missed a convention, you can't go back in the Wayback Machine and change that. But what you can do is this. You can draw a line and you can move forward from here. And you can say, all right, from this day forward, I will do everything in my control. Albright, he wrote a book. It's called Inside the Circle of You. And what he talks about is this. He talks about only 2 things you can control: your attitude and your activity. Everything else is outside of your control. So one of the things in your control is, have you gotten your ticket for family reunion yet? See, that's in your control. And there are people who are negotiating the price. They're negotiating whether they're going to go to Burlington or not. And what I tell my team, and Alex told me I could talk to you guys like I talk to my team. I'm going to talk to you like you're my family, because you are my family. You're my cousins. You're my extended family. And the only way this family thrives, the only way this team wins, is if we do it together. And what's good for the Catz team has to be good for the Abuyuan team. And what's good for the Abuyuan team has to be good for the Davies team. And what's good for the Davies team has to be good for the Connors team. If it's not, then this business won't work. And we have this mindset that we are all in this together, and a rising tide raises all ships. And the faster we all get in alignment and row the boat in the same direction, the faster we can go across that water. And so if we can understand certain principles of what's going to make us successful, what's going to grow the Abuyuan team, what's going to allow you guys to go from whatever level you're at now to the level you're trying to get to, what is in between where you are and where you want to go that's holding you back from getting to that goal? And the answers are at the convention. And I hear people all the time, they're like, yeah, I understand that, Cat. I went to View from the Edge. I've been out of View from the Edge now for 2 weeks. I haven't seen any tangible changes in my business. And that might be so. But let me ask you this. Are there tangible differences in you. Maybe it hasn't caught up to your business yet, but has it caught up to your thought process? And here's what I can tell you. Even if it hasn't, even if you came out of View from the Edge about the same person that you went into View from the Edge, that's okay because you control that controllable. But here's what we know. There is a speaker out there, and it could be Emily Catz, who's going to be on the big stage for the first time. You talk about a proud papa moment. I am so fired up, and she is so poised, and I can't wait. She's got a story. I don't know if she's going to tell it at this convention, but she's getting Davies to help her form it. It's about training a new agent who happened to be a stripper. Davies is like, say no more. You want to come to conference just to hear that story. I can't imagine what it's going to sound like. But here's the thing. There is a speaker in the Alliance that is going to say something, one word, one phrase, something that's going to go through that. A billionth of a volt is going to go through your synapses between those 6 inches in between your ears, and it's going to change your life. And if we knew which speaker at which event was going to say what phrase, we tell it to you now. The problem is we don't know which one it's going to be. So the only choice we have is to be at all of them until we get it. And then from that point forward, oh my God, you can't be stopped. You will be a man or a woman on fire. You will be unstoppable. You will be somebody, your business will double in 90 days. It may quadruple in 90 days. It's unbelievable the power of what 90 days of consistent effort can do for you, but it has to be 90 days of the right effort and the right activity with the right mindset. So how do you grow your self-image? Because one thing we know is this: you will never outgrow your self-image. You will never out-earn your self-image. That's what I meant to say. Meaning this: you start making, if you don't see yourself as a six-figure income person, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get up to about $82,000 in August, and you will figure out a way. You will subconsciously self-sabotage your business to make sure you don't go over $100,000. You're going to get into a car accident. Well, I didn't do that on purpose. You didn't do any of it on purpose. I'm just telling you, you don't think you're worthy of a six-figure income. Your subconscious knows you're not worthy of a six-figure income because that's what you programmed it to believe. So what's going to happen is this: you're going to make sure that you sabotage yourself so you don't make six figures unless you start thinking differently, unless you change your self-image and change your beliefs about yourself. So how do we do that? One is align your actions to match your words. Your walkie matches your talkie. Okay. You got to get the audio and the visual matching up. That's one thing that you do, because every time we do what we say we're going to do, every time we keep a commitment that we make to ourselves or to somebody else, it elevates our self-image. It makes us feel a little bit better about who we are because we at least did that. So that's one thing. Two is this: the books you read. Alex Abuyuan, I guarantee you, has given you a book list. The 8 Steps of Success. Andy Albright has a book list in the 8 Steps of Success. Have you read all of those books? Read those first and then ask Alex, what do I need to read next? Go to your growing up line leader. If it's Dennis Lyons, ask Dennis. If it's Patrick Connors, ask Patrick. Whoever your growing up line leader is that you're talking to, that you're seeking counsel from, and say, what book do I need to read next? By the way, it's not what book are you reading. It doesn't matter what book Patrick Connors is reading, because Patrick is a super genius and he's been reading these books for the last 30 years. Until you've read the books he's read up to this point, you don't need to worry about what he's reading. You don't need to worry about what Alex Abuyuan is reading. You need to worry about what Alex Abuyuan says you need to be reading. That makes sense? I don't ask Andy, what are you reading? I ask him, what should I be reading? And sometimes it might be the same book, but sometimes it's back to the book list. And he says, when's the last time you read Think and Grow Rich? When's the last time you read Magic of Thinking Big? And it's just like, well, it's been a while. All right, we'll go back and read that again. So matching your words and your actions grows your self-image. Reading books grows your self-image. And then associating with people who are going in life or are currently in life where you want to be. Nothing grows your self-image better than that power of association. You know, think about it like this. If you have kids, which I'm assuming most people on this call have kids. If you have kids, are you concerned about who your kids are spending time with? Do you worry about who they're hanging out with after school, who they're having lunch with at school, who they're going on a Saturday night, who they're spending time with? Why are we concerned about that? The reason we're concerned about that, the reason most parents are concerned about that, is because they know that their kids are susceptible to the influences of other people. They're susceptible to their peers. And if you take a straight A student and you put them with 5 drug users, you're going to have a 6th drug user. The druggies aren't going to give up drugs and start making straight A's because one of the straight A's, they're going to suck them down. I taught middle school. Trust me, everybody's looking for a clique. Everybody's looking for a group they belong to. The band geeks stay with the band geeks. The straight A, the nerds stay with the nerds. The jocks stay with the jocks. The cheerleaders stay with the cheerleaders, right? We've all been there. We've lived it. We survived it. Now our kids are going through it. So we're concerned who they're spending time with because we're concerned about what influences they're being under. I got news for you guys. With all due respect, bless your heart. Now I can say whatever I want. If you haven't seen Talladega Nights, you are missing a great movie.
Missing it. That's right.
So, but understand this. How arrogant are we as adults? At least our kids have us trying to steer them in the right direction, trying to influence them and wedge ourselves between bad influences in our kid. At least they have us looking out for them. How arrogant is it as us as adults thinking that we're not just as susceptible to those influences of other people, and you got nobody looking out for you? We're even more susceptible. We call it SNIOPs. You're going to get SNIOPs, susceptible to the negative influences of other people. People are going to talk about you. They're going to talk to you. And it's a lot of times it's the people who are closest to you. It's your mama. But don't get your hopes up, honey. We don't want you to get hurt. And it's just like, what else do I have but my hopes? Why would I not get my hopes up? That's all I got left. You telling me to give up the one thing I'm hanging on to by a thread? And she means no harm. That's just the way it is. I was talking to my dad, Alex, and we did a seminar here in Wilmington. Me and Emily did one. My dad was an attorney and he taught paralegal courses for 40 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was asking him about trust. My bad. I should have known better. This is my 84-year-old father. I gave it everything. I said, and I was just like, can you say one positive thing to me about this? And
Wow.
he just looked at me and was just like, I'm done.
Wow.
He didn't have any factual things to discourage me. He just didn't want to encourage me. And
Yeah.
he loves me. I know he loves me. But God bless America. It's a lot of times it's the people closest to you.
That's right.
That are going to steal your dream, that's
right.
going to SNIOP you. And your inoculation, your dangerous ground here. This is not political. The cure for your negativity is to get around a group of positive people.
That's right.
And there's no more positive group of people than the Alliance family moving forward in the same direction. And your next opportunity to get around the Alliance family in a large group setting is family reunion. And to me, if you're planning to be with this team August 5th, now this is Adam Catz saying, don't hold Alex accountable to this. Don't hold Patrick accountable to this. This is me. And please, by God, don't quit. But my attitude, what I've always learned, what I've always thought about was this. If you're planning to be here August 5th, then it's not optional being in Burlington August 2nd through the 4th. It's just not an option. See, and here's what I love about it. Once you know what you're trying to accomplish, what your overall vision is, once you know what you're going for, every decision becomes that much easier. Because here's what it is. If my overall overarching goal is to put my family in a better financial position and to reach regional manager at the Alliance, that's a good place to start, by the way. You reach regional manager at the Alliance. If that's my goal, then every decision I make, put it against that in this sense. Is this decision helping me move closer to my goal of going regional manager, or is it moving me further away from my goal of going regional manager? And if you can honestly look Alex in the eye and say, going to convention is not going to move me closer to my goal, and you can do it with a straight face, then maybe you don't need to go. But I also have news for you. Spoiler alert, I hate to give away the ending of the movie here, but you keep going regional manager, because there's nobody that's gotten to that level that doesn't plug into the bigger meeting. I don't know how much you got out of View from the Edge. I got a ton out of it. My favorite characters were the fishermen. It reminded me of how recruiting actually works.
That's right.
And you got to just keep searching, and you got to keep searching, and it's okay. It's okay to pull in a whiny baby. You don't have to keep working with them, but just know that they're out there and you're going to pull them in. That's okay. I don't know what you got out of View from the Edge, but here's what I do know, that the next meeting is going to be the meeting of your life, the meeting that changes your life, that changes the trajectory of your family, that changes your legacy for the next 20 years. And if you miss it, then you missed it. Is it a death blow you can't get back from? No. It's not. But why you want to take the risk? Why would you do that? Tickets are discounted through tomorrow night, midnight. Tia wanted to jump the price yesterday. And we're like, well, we need one more conference call to convince one more person to go. Can you give us another 48 hours? So we got her to give us another 48 hours. You have till tomorrow night, midnight, to get the discounted rate. If you know you're going to go, if you know it's the right thing to do, then just go ahead and get the ticket now. If I don't have the money, find the money. Find it. Let me ask you this. If you got arrested and your bail was $249, how long are you sitting in jail? So you can come up with $249 if you need to.
Call your mama.
Call your mama. Grandma always wants to give you money.
Grandma. That's right.
I'm a grandpa now. Michael can have whatever he wants. He's only 17 months old, but I promise you, he can have whatever he wants. We already put a $200 a month IUL on him. He's going to be a millionaire at 51. It's stupid crazy. We'll probably up that later. I need to see how many grandkids I have before I commit it too heavy. But guys, it's been an honor talking to you. One thing I would encourage you and remind you is this. You don't know how good you have it working with Alex and Jenny. The Abians are Alliance royalty. The Connors are Alliance royalty. You are so blessed to be part of this organization. And it's so easy to take it for granted because you see Alex all the time. You hear from him all the time. You see him on these Zoom calls, and it's easy to take it for granted. And I beg you, don't disrespect the relationship. Don't disrespect the knowledge. Alex is one of the main reasons why the Alliance even exists. He created the first website for the Alliance. We wouldn't have a website if it wasn't for Alex Abuyuan. He was not only was he building one of the biggest businesses, he was also doing all the IT support work. That's how talented a man he was, and how invaluable he was to the beginnings of this company. The stories, we could go on and on and on. But I beg you, don't take that for granted. Because you have access, don't diminish the value he brings. Always treat that with respect. It's been an honor to be able to talk to the Abuyuan team because, like I said, you guys are royalty and you guys are smoking like crazy. The changes in the Abuyuan organization over the last 12 months has just been, something to emulate that we're all striving to just keep up with. When Alex asked if I could jump on, I was just absolutely, it's my honor. And so, Alex, thank you for opening your team up to me for a few minutes, and can't wait to see all of you guys over the next 90 days, and we'll see everybody in Burlington if we don't see you while we're traveling around the country. Appreciate it, Alex.
Hey, thanks, Adam. I appreciate you too, brother, man. Thank you so much for serving our team. You need to get down to family reunion just to get around Adam Catz. Like, seriously, you should mob him. You should have your MP3 recorders, go up to Adam, and trust me, he's been through what you're going through. We've been through stuff, and he can relate totally to what your challenges you're running into, and he'll give you his best. So, man, when you get to an event, you can mention this call. Hey, Adam, man, appreciate you being on our call. I made that decision to go because of what you said, and here I am. How can you help me? And he's going to ask you some questions, and then he's going to figure out what you need to hear. And all the top leaders will do that for you. Don't feel like you can't talk to them. They actually are there for you to talk to them. So that's the culture that we're about. I mean, we talked about it earlier. We all help each other. Doesn't matter if you're upline, downline, crossline. We all support and help each other. And that's what the Alliance is all about. Even if they're the mega top leaders like Adam Catz and Adam and Beth Catz and Andy Albright, Andy Jane Albright, and Angela Riddle, all the big names, they're there to help you. It doesn't matter. Everyone is worthy. We just want you to get to where we're at. The more people get to where we're at, then everyone wins. And that's what this is about. So thank you, Adam Catz, man. Love you, man. Love you and Beth and everything that you've done for our team and everything you've done for the Alliance, brother. And can't wait to hang out with you and Beth on the Alaska cruise. The first time around was great. I know the second time around is even going to be better. Thanks, everybody, for being on here. I hope you heard what you needed to hear. I put the link to the family reunion information page. I beg you to, put on a credit card, sell something off of eBay, sell insurance. What a concept. Get your family, friends, whatever you need to do. Like Adam said, I love the analogy. If you had to make bail and it was $249, man, yeah, you'd figure it out. So God bless everybody. Thank you so much. And thank you for being on here. God bless. We'll see you guys later. And let's see you on the leaderboard next week. Take care, buddy.